Here we go. Here just talking about general epilepsy and the people that suffer from it, because there are a lot of people in the world that suffer from epilepsy, and it's just one of those terrible neurological disorders that anybody can have, and it's a terrible thing that anybody can ever wish on somebody, or just a general thing that nobody should even have. And it sucks that there's no cure for it, and it just also sucks that there isn't much of awareness about it too, and it's just a fucking terrible thing. No, you can't catch epilepsy, and those of you that think you can catch epilepsy, you're fucking stupid. Recently, I was fired from a job because I had a seizure and I cracked my head open, and they fired me 3 days later. It's pretty terrible. And those of you that want to know what it is, what the job was, it was Reservation Outpost in Puyallup, Washington. You can go ahead and give them a review, because I honestly think they're a shithole company that made me believe to think that they're this great company or great business, but honestly, no. Anybody with problem with anybody with a problem with that shouldn't even apply there, because they will fire your ass. And also too, they only hire women, they don't hire men. Or they do hire men, but they only hire a few men, and the rest are women. So there's about 19 women there, and only 2 or 3 men working there. So it's a very sexist business. So just don't ever go there. So again, there isn't much awareness about epilepsy, and a lot of people think that someone is just going crazy and they're falling over and they're just going to sleep, or perhaps they're just going crazy because that's their type of epilepsy or their type of seizures that they have. That's not the case, unfortunately. I saw this dude earlier today. I wasn't sure if he was just nuts or if he was having some type of seizure or something, because he was playing in traffic, and that shit nobody should be doing, and obviously you shouldn't do that. But that's what he was doing. Also, awareness too, like, having epilepsy is a very crappy thing, because a lot of times it's hard to speak your mind, it's hard to say what's on your mind, it's hard to just have conversations with people, because sometimes when you do have seizures, you forget things, you forget people, you forget people's names, and it sucks, because usually when you don't remember somebody's name, or you say a name to someone and it's the wrong name, pretty much generally ends the relationship, unless you want to tell them or her the neurological disorder that you have. And a lot of people don't want to do that. Like me, I held it in for so long because a lot of people discriminate against epilepsy, and honestly, there isn't enough money going in for a cure. And what epilepsy is, it's a seizure. And those of you who don't know what seizures are, it's a shock. It literally shocks to the brain. It's like your brain is like firing up a lot, and your brain fires up all the time. I mean, it's not like you're having seizures all the time, but your brain is constantly active. You're constantly fucking doing shit. You're constantly having OCD on things. Like, if you want to learn things, you want to study things, epilepsy is good for that because your brain is always on active mode. Another thing too about those shocks to the brain, when you do so happen to have a seizure, a lot of people tend to just fall over and that's it. It's 2-3 minutes of just either shaking or just not breathing too, which is scary. And it's so expensive, it really is. It's the most expensive fucking disorder that you can have because all the trips to the hospital, the ambulance rides, and again, it's the most underwritten not virus, because it's not a virus, but it's the most underwritten neurological disorder that anybody can have. And it shouldn't be like that. And this is what this podcast is about. So thank you for listening, and thank you for taking the time to get better educated about epilepsy, and have a great night. I will try to as well.